Hello and welcome to today's English lesson. My name is Stuart. In today's lesson, we're looking at idioms that use the verb to keep. Let's go to the intro. Now, today's lesson, as I said, is looking at idioms that use the verb to keep, and we have 8 idioms here that use this particular verb. Now, some of these expressions are going to be familiar to you, some of them not, but I'm going to try to show you how we use them through context, of course, and probably that's the best way to learn idioms, by seeing them through context and also remembering the main verb. Now, the first one is to keep your word, to keep your word. And through context, we'll have a look what to keep your word means. So, John said he was going to quit, and he did, so he kept his word. So if you keep your word, it means that you do what you said you were going to do. In other words, you keep a promise, or for example, in this sense, if you say that you're going to quit your job and you do it, then you keep your word, okay? You fulfill the promise that you have said or stated, okay? So John said he was going to quit his job, and he did quit his job because he wasn't happy, so he kept his word. He kept his word, okay? The next one is to keep your cool, to keep your cool, to keep your cool, and context again, I could see she was upset, but in the end she kept her cool. So if you keep your cool, it means that you don't get frustrated or angry, or you don't lose your temper. You keep your cool in a difficult situation, okay? You keep yourself in control. You don't lose your cool. So you can imagine that you're in an argument with somebody. You can imagine that you're in a difficult situation. Perhaps you're driving in the traffic and it's hot and the traffic's heavy and you start to get a little bit irritated, but you have to try to keep your cool, okay? Not to lose your temper, to get angry or become irritated. Okay, so to keep your cool. The next one is to keep an eye on, to keep an eye on. Again, context, can you keep an eye on the kids? I have to go out. So if you keep an eye on somebody or on something, it means that you watch it or you watch them. You look after it for somebody. It can be kids. It can be another possession that somebody has that they don't want to lose. Let's say, for example, you are in a coffee shop and you go to the toilet and you leave your bag on the chair and you say to your friend, keep an eye on my bag for me in case somebody, tries to steal it, all right? So to keep an eye on. The next one is to keep an eye out, or to keep your eyes open. It means the same thing, okay? And if you keep an eye out for the bus, we don't want to miss it. So it means that you remain alert and that you keep your eyes open so that when the bus comes around the corner, you see it and you're ready to catch the bus. So it could also be for a taxi. Let's say you're walking down the street late at night and you say to your friend, can you keep an eye out for a taxi? Keep an eye out for a taxi, okay? So, keep your eyes open, keep alert, okay? Make sure that you're thinking about that, you're thinking of looking for that particular thing, all right? The next one is to keep a low profile. The boss is in a foul mood, so you'd best keep a low profile, to keep a low profile, okay? To keep under the radar. To keep a low profile means that you try to not be seen, try to not make yourself seen or heard, okay? You don't want to do anything that will stand out and catch people's attention. So you keep a low profile. A lot of the time when famous people go on holidays, they try to keep a low profile for the paparazzi so that people are not, taking their photos. So they try to keep a low profile. The next one is to keep a straight face. And to keep a straight face, we'll have a look through the context. it's hard to keep a straight face when Pete's in the room. To keep a straight face means that you keep a serious face, or you try not to laugh. Now, the reason I used the context here with Pete is because Pete's a funny guy. He's always telling jokes. So it's difficult to keep a straight face when Pete is in the room, okay? Now, the next one is to keep someone posted. And if you keep someone posted, you keep them informed of what's happening. So the example that we have here, we don't know what Ted's been up to. He hasn't been keeping us posted. He hasn't been telling us where he is, what he's been doing. He hasn't been keeping us informed of his activity, of his movements, okay? So he hasn't been keeping us posted. He hasn't been keeping us posted of his life, his whereabouts, his happenings, let's say. All right. And the last one is to keep your fingers crossed. Literally, it's this: you keep your fingers crossed in order to hope that something happens, or in order to get some luck, let's say. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this summer is not as hot. I'll just show you this. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this summer is not as hot as last summer, because this summer is incredibly hot. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that next summer is not as hot as this one, because this summer has been terribly hot, uncomfortable, sweating, hot weather. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Now, thank you very much for watching the lesson. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below in the comments section. Remember to share the video on social media. Give the video a like if you like the video. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.
This old man, he played too. He played knick-knack on my shoe with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This old man came rolling home.